Happy Monday, everyone. Here we are, a new week in the charts, and I know it's going to sound extremely repetitive in the same space. So, at the moment, we are holding for both Ethereum and Bitcoin the 20 EMA on the daily, which is a sign of sentiment being positive and continuation to the upside. So we haven't broken it. We have back tested it more so for Ethereum rather than Bitcoin, but it's still holding. I'm gonna do a quick overlook of the week in terms of the news that's about to come out. Then I'm gonna look at the S&P. Then I'm gonna look at the DXY for context, and then I'm gonna look at where we are in the shorter time frame, because the weeklies and the dailies are giving us some indication of continuation, and then in the shorter time frame I'm going to draw out the validation and invalidation levels for that continuation, because that's what I believe we need to see when we're observing it this week. Today, starting on the calendar, today is going to be a quiet day because we don't have any news coming out from the States. It's a bank holiday for Canada and the States, and we will be looking at tomorrow for a lot of high impact news coming from the British pound, the Canadian dollar, and also the US dollar. A lot of high impact news on the DXY. Now, both the Canadian dollar and the pound are trading against the dollar, so the DXY will be influenced by that. Now, lately we have seen both crypto and the dollar going up, so there hasn't been any particular there has been this particular anomaly in the charts, because usually they go against each other, so in the opposite way. But we have seen them both go up, which again, it is connected to where we are in these times of uncertainty, the strength of a currency and then the strength of short-term assets, because crypto is a short-term speculative asset at the moment. Now, the S&P has been going up as well until it topped out on Friday and couldn't make a higher high. Not being able to put in a higher high is generally a sign of weakness. Could the S&P go down while the coins go up? Absolutely. So we need to look at, that's why I said we need to look at our local levels, because again, as traders, we need to keep open to both directions. And once we have those confirmations and those invalidations, one direction or another, we will go with it. Now, so news coming out tomorrow between I would say the highest impact would be the 245. There will be some volatility throughout the morning with the flash services and flash manufacturing PMI on the UK side, but the bigger moment would be the flash services, which come 15 minutes into the opening of New York. And after today, that might be the fake move at the start of the week, because there's always fake move Mondays. That might be the fake move indicating one direction when it's going to move the other direction. Now, after that, we have the biggest news coming out this week is the FOMC meetings on Wednesday. This is why I believe the market will be ranging until this meeting. This particular meeting will be indicative of, I think that's the stress, indicative of the direction. So depending on their on whether they have or they present a hawkish stance, the market will be either incentivized or threatened, scared, to put their investments into short-term assets such as the coins, which is our focus. So maybe the stocks won't go any higher than this, and the coins will continue their journey, because I've seen that before, and it's generally the coins continue one more leg up while the stocks come down, because it's the way investment moves money around to sort of like draw the final bit of profit from the market. After Wednesday, we have Thursday with the preliminary GDP. Again, that will bring a little bit of volatility. Friday, the new home sales and the consumer sentiment, medium impact, not so big, but again, this will round off this week. So I anticipate a week of volatility, both to the upside and to the downside. We have reasons to believe both directions are possible. I believe now that the upside will be more likely, considering what happened last night, but I still haven't had that confirmation, and I will show you in a bit what that confirmation is. Now, for the DXY, we have the daily, which is lifting, still lifting. There's no bearish divergence on the daily yet. We have the weekly lifting as well. I believe that will keep on lifting till the 105 on the weekly, which is the 20. It broke the 20, a back test, and then continuation to the downside would be what happens. So this is exactly what happened here on the way up. It back tested the weekly and went with it for about a month, and then continued its parabolic run. And out of this accumulation formation. I'm not gonna drill this too much, because which is by this I mean the DXY pattern, because lately you can see that it's been going up on the weekly the same way as the coins have been going up on the weekly. So they've been going hand in hand. This is an anomaly, so I would be mindful of this particular pattern. Again, because this could mean we are just moving erratically before a breakout, and that breakout can happen to either side. The breakout, in terms of where this is indicating for, again, just to be very technical, to read what's in the charts, based on the stochastic momentum on the DXY, the breakdown for the coins should be to the upside, because DXY should be doing a retrace down on the daily. It printed yesterday a candle that is typical of a top out. Because of the sideways space it's in, I am cautious and mindful of this, not to take it too serious, not seriously, strictly. So I will be taking it as if this were an intensity signal, this would be an orange flag, not necessarily a red flag. But I would be considering it in the overall picture. So the XY is indicating more downwards, which would mean a lift for the coins. The SPX is indicating the opposite at the moment. The daily has hit a rock bottom on the stochastic. It's still pushing down, so we might see tomorrow or the day after tomorrow a rehabilitation to the upside. We have a what looks like a lift at the moment on the 4-hour bottoming out formation, but we are below the support and resistance level, this yellow line here. We are below the 20 on the 4-hour, so we might as well continue down. This doesn't necessarily mean that the coins will be down. The coins closed on Friday with a sell candle on the hour, so they might continue the sell on tomorrow when the market opens again in New York, because that's how New York closed, and that's generally what happens. The Friday end of the session candle continues into Monday, but since Monday is closed today, then we'll have the continuation tomorrow. So I am looking at the S&P possibly lifting up, which would be in line with the DXY, but we don't have those levels confirmed yet. That's why I said it on the Bitcoin chart. I only put in I had 2 trades in, one of them didn't. I keep them marked until our post-trade analysis. What I'm doing right now is I'm moving the numbers to the left so that I have space in the chart. So here was a golden pocket entry, wicked me out, but that was only 5%. This one didn't go through. It came really close to my entry point, but didn't do it. In fairness, I could have changed this to match the levels on the day, but I didn't. I just left it as high as possible because I said this would be the ideal entry. I'm still considering putting an entry here for a double top, but I am holding off until I see some movement. At the moment, what we have right now is very choppy sideways in this space. It is tradable. For the range is absolutely tradable. It's about 5% up and down. If you're watching the 15-minute stochastic momentum and the vectors, you could be trading it, but it is quite intense. That's why I prefer to save that energy for a bigger move. Now, a bigger move would be when New York opens tomorrow, or even today. Retail in New York will still be trading. Volumes will be lower, but the moves still happen. We could see a drop here, a second leg, and then a lift off, which is something that I'll be watching for. I'll remove these arrows just to put in the, there we go, the new ones. So we could see a second leg here, then back into here, and then continuing to the upside here, which would be a target as well on the daily. So that would be what I'm watching for the lift. But we could also see, in terms of the drop, we could see a lift up to the midline, rejection, again rejection, and then continuing down to the level of support here. So that would be my downwards scenario. I still don't have the confirmation for any of these moves at the moment. It's just moving sideways. Very small range for the daily. If we're looking at between the high and the low, it's 4%. Yeah, it's worth doing the trades on the 15-minute, but again, it is quite intense. I prefer in this space to be watching. Now, what are the levels of confirmation and invalidation? So I will be removing this because it's no longer relevant. I think we've had plenty of time to meet that target, and I don't think we will anymore. I think we'll meet it in a different direction. So what I am looking at the moment is, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for Ethereum. So this would be the range. I'm going to move this line here to perfect. I'm going to remove that that rectangle because it's not worth it. You can see what I mean here. This yellow line here will be the confirmation. So breaking this support is confirmation of a downtrend. So this would be a 4-hour move. This is not a 1-hour move. This yellow line here is the confirmation of, if we break it, it's going to be in line with the 55 on the 4-hour. So not only are we breaking the 20, which Michael was asking me last night, and it's a very good question to ask contextually. We need to ask it constantly. What is our first signal? The first signal is still the 20 on the 4-hour. The confirmation is the 55. So 20 on the 4-hour, brilliant signal to do a back test and go into that short. Half of the position, tight stop loss, confirmed when it breaks the 55 and it holds it on the 4 hour, and then continues downwards. Now for the lift, here it is. That's why I changed the target from there to here, and it is in line with the next, quite close to the next swing, 26.7, 27.2. Let me change to the 12 hour so that I could get the swing in. Yeah, this would be it, but I will put it at our technical target because I like to keep it technical once we have that. Don't know why my lines are a little bit wonky. There we go. So 26.6, 26.7 would be the target. So breaking this line here, I'll move it. I don't like to put too many labels because there we go. So breaking the 25.2, which is where liquidity stopped price action in its tracks, this would be the confirmation of upwards movement. So this would be another leg up. This would be the confirmation of another leg up. So breaking the, just to summarize it, because of the tight space we're in, confirmation of correction 23.8, confirmation of continuing lifting, another leg up 25.2. This is what I'm waiting for, and I am in both cases I am waiting for a push down, lift up, push down, lift up, and maybe push down here, somewhere around here, 19 point, I'll take this one, not 20.2. As again, I haven't put the fib on, but we don't have that movement, so I'm not gonna load the chart with stuff on it when we're not using it at the moment. This would be, again, just as far as support and resistance levels are concerned, this would be the level for, there we go, where this correction could go initially and make a bigger top out formation. Now, same for the lift. I will be writing this in more detail on the chats because I don't want to be wasting your time now. Just putting there we go. Now we might see this would be the lift path. We might see that on the daily, the big level to reach is the 30k. So this could be the lift to 30k. Would I be watching it to take my profit around 26.6? Absolutely. I will take 75% of the profit at 26.6, move my stop loss somewhere midway at around 26, and then let it run and see what it does. So this is what I'll be watching, but I will be going in on this back test rather than going in now when this is not confirmed. The same for the drop. I'll be going in on this back test at the moment, because I don't have any other signals. There is no signaling at the moment. At the moment, we're in the middle of this lift, which might go up to, again, back test the resistance line. And here is where I want to make my final point about Bitcoin. This consolidation is not complete. We have 2 touches to the top, 2 touches to the bottom. We need 1 more touch to the top, 1 more touch to the bottom, and then we're ready to rock. So we need to see, I believe, another swing up and then another swing down if we're looking at the 4-hour swings. This should be another swing up and then another swing down, and then we're ready to see where this is going to take us. Could you take a position for a short here on the top line? Absolutely, with a tight stop loss. Great. If I see any topping out formation on the 1 hour and I can get into that, I will be taking it. The same for the downwards position. If I see any particular double bottom here on the 1 hour with a tight stop loss underneath the 55 EMA, I will take that as well, and I will be following it upwards. So that's my thought. But at the moment, there is no such thing. There is no daily trade at the moment where we are right now. Asia presented us with this, but I don't think we're ready for the move yet. And considering how things happen on the 4-hour time frame, we might be in about a day, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, depending on how this moves along the support and resistance. So this would be, I'm gonna color code this with a red so that we see it clearly. I'm gonna color code this with green so that we have the lift up clearly as well. So these are my two confirmation and invalidation. That's what I'm watching for BTC. The volumes are down in terms of volume divergence. The RSI on the 4-hour is indicating down as well. I don't have yet an entry though, so I'll be very patient. I've been patient so far, and that has served me well because I haven't been trapped, even though it's been quite challenging to read. I believe there will be soon a nice juicy trade coming, but I need just to I feel, even though I know I'm repetitive, I'm constantly telling you, you could do this, you could trade this on the 15-minute if you so choose, but you'll have to watch it constantly because the retraces are fast and furious and it's moving really quickly. Okay. Now, let's do the same thing. Let's have a look quickly on the MAs on the daily and the weekly for BTC, just for you to know what's going on. On the daily, it's been holding the 20, which is here. This is our 4-hour structure that I keep on watching because it's so beautiful in terms of support and resistance. Like, it's a work of art. Here's where the 50 is, right on our support and resistance line. Here is where the 20 is, right on our, again, on our main support and resistance line. I love support and resistance lines. I think they're very, very, well, not love. I find them very, very useful in terms of watching how this goes. And then again, the local support, the 5 MA on the daily. So it's holding great support on the daily, nice crossings on the daily as well. Here we had the weekly, the death cross here on the weekly happened. We had a big retrace here, but it looks like we are continuing to the upside. Now, personally, I find myself in a dilemma because if I were to read this as an impulse, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We haven't managed to put in a higher high last night during the Asian session. I believe this is a top of formation. This is over. However, support is indicating that we could continue upwards and do another lift. So that's why I am watching to see how the price action, starting with these super small 4-hour local levels, is going to play out in this bigger 4-hour space, and then how the targets are going to be met on the daily. That's what I'm watching. Now, I'm going to do the same for ETH. I'm going to remove these because we don't need the weekend. The weekend and the weekend and the Friday levels held. Now I'm going to do the same pathway of validation and invalidation. So here I'm going to start with naming this. This will, again, BTC and ETH are just like mirror images of each other, almost identical in moves. Not perfectly identical, but very, very much so. 1640 is the 55 EMA. Here we had the breaking of the 20. BTC didn't go so low. ETH did, but the support held and we made a higher low last night, so that indicates some bigger, that indicates continuation. Also, they are in the same space when it comes to this channel. I'll just put it here because it is a sideways channel. I know it looks like a triangle, but I prefer to keep it as a channel just to have these support and resistance lines. So same but different levels. We break the 1645, 47. We come down to at least 1519, and this is a very nice trade. It's 80%, and this would be the most local level. Again, I would be taking only 50% of profit here, maybe 75 depending on how it looks, and then letting it run down, moving the stop loss a little bit higher and letting it run down. That would be the path down, and the confirmation of the downward move. There we go. And the opposite would be for the I think it's 1730. Yes. This would be the lift confirmation. So we might be getting a back test. We might not be getting a back test. I wish I could read the future as far as the possibility of a back test is concerned. I do think we will get a back test if I am to technically look at the amount of time we've gotten a back test. So that would be my next target. Here it is, 1820, and that would be another lift up. Okay, so that would be our, this would be our technical target for the next leg of 1820. If we're looking at what's happening on the daily, here we have 1780 as the next level, and then we have 1900. So 1800 more or less, and then 1900, 1920. So again, I would be taking 50% at the measured target here, letting it run for the other bit, and then putting it back in if we have confirmation of another lift. It depends what kind of structure we're in. But if we're looking at this whole thing as what it is on the 4 hour, like this was and I will be measuring. I know I don't count the initial swing, but now, just to be extra cautious, go the Forex way rather than the crypto way. Oh, I thought this was gonna be more visible, but it's not on the screen. So I'm gonna take the path as well. So if I'm looking at this 1, 2, 3, we could still come down here. 4, 5, 6. This channel is not complete. I know this is not what you want to hear. That is the reality. So we could be still in this, going slightly upwards for a while now. We could be changing it and making a higher high and changing the structure as well. Now what I could say to you on the daily is that if this were a 1, 2, 3, 4, we've had a 5, we've had the higher high. We haven't yet had any correction of this. Like, this has been a massive lift. Sorry, I don't want to, let's say this was a lift in itself and this was the correction. So I'm going to take this swing from here 50%, 50%, and then nothing in terms of corrections. Sorry, I keep putting the percentages rather than the fibs. So here would be the 382, which is teeny tiny compared to the potential of this swing. So what we would need for sustainability is a decent correction. We don't have that decent correction at the moment, so this is not as sustainable as I'd like it to be. But then again, how the market moves has nothing to do with how I'd like the market to move. That's it for the moment. This is where I see it heading. In terms of the MAs for ETH, we have lovely support on the 4 hour. We're holding everything. The Bollinger is getting really, really tight. We hit the bottom, we hit the top. Where are we going? We have yet to see. I have been listening this weekend to some commentators of the space, and here we are meeting the 50 again on the weekly. Could this be the resistance? Yes, it could. However, we've had the 1, 2, 3, 4 back test of the 20. Here's where it reverses. The 50 could be again something to work through for the next swing. This is what's been stopping this, and it's the third back test. So here it would again come down, and the fourth time would be the time when it breaks. And here is the daily with again lovely support, lovely back tests as well. The 50 on the daily was back tested. Its lift is a lot more sustainable than BTC's. So we do need right now to see if we're gonna lift up another bit or not. Now, in terms of percentages, I just got an idea there. This will be my final idea. Are these trades we're making 5% to the lift? Yes, if you can catch that back test. Plus, it would mean it could continue going upwards to the next psychological level. For BTC, this would be smaller, not so big, but it could be, again, it's not what it is, the lift to the next level, because I've been very conservative with the measurements, and I've gone purely by the technical measurement. So again, 5.66%. These would only be the technical measurements. This would, breaking the 25.2 would create momentum for the upside to continue to 30K. And yes, I would be taking 50% probably if I see strong double tops. I will take 50% at double tops. If I don't see any double tops, I will just let it run and put the stop loss, follow it with the stop loss on the 4 hour under the 20 EMA until it reaches the 30K, or because that's where I believe it might meet bigger resistance. 28K, 30K for BTC. For Ethereum, I would follow it up to 1900, possibly 1920. But we have yet to see if it manages to break into that higher space. Both of them have that higher space potential as an option. So we do have that. It could go there. There it is, 1920 as a target for. There's something very annoying. There we go. There we go. So this would be the measured target of this daily consolidation space. And I know this has been very annoying. It has been very annoying. I've done very few trades here, and I haven't taken advantage of this lift because I was in denial of the whole lift, considering the market conditions. Maybe I bought into the bearish fundamentals too much. That would be on me. I think there's as traders having great honesty to say, you know, I was wrong that doing that is part of the learning process and part of the growth process, because again, we are met with fundamentals that are very unique for where we are worldwide, and crypto focused as well. So we have been in very interesting times. Again, that would be part of my reflection, and I am being very reflective these days in terms of this particular swing. So I'll keep an eye out, and I'll be posting the validation and invalidation for both coins on the chats for you to have. I will be very alert this week around the New York sessions. I am letting the New York session settle for about 90 minutes between 90 minutes and 2 hours, because it is quite volatile. And then I can see where the direction is going. And yes, if I am to miss a trade, that's okay, because there will be more trades to come. If this is the lift into the bull market, happy days. We're going to have 2, maybe 3 years of lifting, and yes, we can still have the continuation of this rally, even if the S&P and the DXY are moving in abnormal ways. That's again another thing that I wanted to tell you, because I have I tried to educate myself to see if there is a possibility for that to happen, and there is. We could be heading down on the S&P and up on the coins. We could be heading up on the DXY and up on the coins as well. That could happen because, again, the strength of the dollar could be balanced by the weakness of other coins, and the coins would be going up. The crypto coins would be going up as the longer term assets lose strength. The shorter term assets gain power. So we could be seeing something abnormal. That's the pattern interrupt of the market. What has been working so far stops working, which is our signals and our oscillators, and that's where we need to practice extreme risk management and let it confirm or invalidate itself on the moves. That's it for me. I don't want to be too repetitive and tell you things that I've been telling you or you've known already. I'll keep you up to date. It's going to be quite an intense week. Every FOMC week is intense. Buckle up, because it's going to be very volatile. Let the volatility settle, and then put the retracements in for those double tops and double bottoms, because they will be offered. So that's it. That's most of the times. Most often than not. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and I'll be seeing you in the chats. Do let me know if you have any questions. Discord's a little bit cuckoo. Sometimes I get the notification, other times I don't. If you want a quick answer from me, just make sure to tag me in the question so that I get the question faster. So have a good day, have a good week, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.